Test versus production. So here's the situation. You build a cool Kynetx app and people start using it. Then you think of a new feature to add to the application. So you start working on the new feature. Then the new feature is finally working and you deploy the changes to users so they can start using them, all without interrupting their experience. So how do you do that? Well, it's actually fairly simple with Kynetx applications because, know it or not, there are two versions of your applications, a test version and a production version. And there's an easy way to control that. So let's set up a simple app to demonstrate how this process works. I'll set the author. The dispatch domain will be example.com for this illustration. And I'll set my select statement to select on all pages. Then I'll be using simple notifications to illustrate the different versions of the applications and which ones are set as production. So the first version will be set as production. So we'll go over and grab the test bookmarklet, then set the first version as production, and grab the production version of the bookmarklet. I'm sorry if this gets a little confusing, but then we'll go over to example.com to run our application. We'll first run the test version, which should show the first version of the application. Then if we refresh and run the production bookmarklet, we see that we also get the first version of the application as expected. So here's where we start adding the new functionality. We add the second version, and we will not set this as production as we are not ready to deploy it to our users yet. Then I'll go back over to example.com and run the test bookmarklet, and we see that we do indeed get the second version of the application. Now if we run the production version of the bookmarklet, we see that we still get the first version of the application, which is marked as production. So we finally finish our new feature in our application, which is in the third version, and we will set this one as production. So we'll save, go back to our deploy page, refresh, and mark the third version of the application as production. Once that is set as production, we can go back to example.com, and both our production and test bookmarklets should both show the third version of the application. So there you have it. Using test and deployment version marking of your application is how you can add new functionality and debug functions in your application without ever interrupting the experience of your users using Kynetx apps.